The Federal Reserve has already been infiltrated. You know, back in 2016 and 2017 in Washington, I told them. I said, look at those buildings across from you, the U.S. Treasury, right next to the White House. And across the street, the Federal Reserve, and right next to it. And over here, your Department of Defense. I won't mention any names now. But remember, recently the issue of the Federal Reserve was raised, including discussions by the U.S. military on whether or not to go to war over Taiwan. These people have all had dinner at my house. They had dinner in my house back in 2016, 2015, and 2017. I asked them about the so-called 36 people killed in China back then, which was actually over 60 people, and the execution of Tong Baogua. His face was full of surprise. He asked, how do you know those numbers? I told him, you've all been deceived by the Chinese Communist Party, or they've bought you off. Many people in the Federal Reserve I've met with, I told them, you've been infiltrated. At the end of 2014, when I had just arrived in the UK, I met with people from the US State Department and the White House responsible for China affairs in London. I told them, if you don't believe the CCP is your full-scale threat in the future, take a closer look at the U.S. Treasury, the Federal Reserve, Congress, and the Senate. Check how many people are collaborating with the CCP, including within the Federal Reserve. He asked, what could they get from the Federal Reserve? And China Han strategy advisor in the White House, a senior official at the time, asked, what would they gain from it? I said, they want all your financial strategies, every single policy. And I said, China has already developed a digital currency to confront the US. They want to lead the world. This includes quantum technology and an entire system of currency. Back then, they thought I was insane. But now, it's all coming true. The Federal Reserve has realized all the infiltration and threats from the CCP. It's like suddenly discovering your body is filled with ticking bombs planted by your enemy. How would you react? All US debt, monetary policy, the entire economic plan each year, and the real data. China had already taken it all. They used every tactic, robbing, coercing, the blue-gold-yellow scheme. So this time, the Federal Reserve will definitely go after the CCP. And they will definitely crush the so-called digital renminbi. The Federal Reserve, to save its own life, will absolutely confront the CCP globally. And when the Federal Reserve acts, with its money and power, and its influence will be enormous.